And you gave them tickets, and it seems it's rude if you give them tickets that you wouldn't give all of them.
While Ellen DeGeneres has almost always been praised for her dynamic acting and charitable daytime talk show, she has come under fire in recent months for being not as kind as she lets off. But did this come out of nowhere? Here are 10 celebrities who tried to warn us about Ellen.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.
Number 10, Mariah Carey.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
But before we hop into that, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. You won't regret it. Keep watching. This one's pretty wild. The world-famous pop singer and Ellen got along for years and years. In fact, they were close friends outside of their interactions on the show. But things got a little weird for Mariah when Ellen decided to take one joke a step too far. You're not going to believe what she said. Ellen claimed that her joke was simply that, a joke. But Mariah felt differently, and it seemed there's been a big rift ever since. Tons of people debate about Ellen's interview style and her intimate jabs into celebrities' guests' lives. Fans agreed that Mariah handled the cruel joke very well considering. Still, this one's pretty intense for a joke. Basically, Mariah went on to promote some of her latest music, and Ellen was quick to jump on her about some rumors that were floating around. It definitely wasn't something they were talking about in their day-to-day friendship, so Mariah was caught way off guard. The rumors were speculative reports that Mariah Carey was actually pregnant. Ellen seemed to want her to spill on her show so she could get the huge ratings spike. Mariah tells her she doesn't want to talk about it. Ellen then proceeds to take out 2 glasses filled with champagne. She tries to get the pop star to drink it as a test to whether she's pregnant or not. Mariah was probably early on in her pregnancy and wasn't ready to share it with the world. People have agreed that Ellen's quote-unquote joke was a bit too far and was pushing Mariah into some uncomfortable territory. Sadly, Mariah did end up having a miscarriage, which didn't come out till much later. This is just one more sensitive point that made Mariah believe Ellen wasn't as great as she pretends to be. Keep watching though, Ellen's antics don't stop there. Number 9, Dakota Johnson.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it?
Back in 2019, Ellen's interview with Dakota practically broke the internet. People were shocked to see Ellen's and Dakota's verbal scuffle, but nowadays it all seems to make sense. At first, it was just awkward, but when Dakota stood her ground, it got kinda heated. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Essentially, Ellen jokingly claimed that she hadn't been invited to Dakota's birthday party. This wasn't true at all, and Dakota pointed it out to her. Ellen was somewhat taken aback and clearly embarrassed because of what happens next. Dakota pointed out that she didn't invite the TV talk show star back in 2018 because they didn't know one another that well, and she wasn't sure whether she wanted to be invited. But then, in 2019, she thought things had changed between the two, and Ellen had made it clear that she was interested. Ellen tried to claim that she wasn't invited again, but Dakota refused to back down. She lays down the hammer with this bold line saying, "Actually, that is not the truth, Ellen." She told her to ask around and even pointed out Ellen's producer, Jonathan, for confirmation. That's when the audience started to get a little quiet. No one was expecting this. The producer does in fact speak up on live TV and tells Ellen that she was invited but declined to go. Dakota was clearly not going to be taking any of Ellen's usual bullying. This is just another example of a star who was already turning against Ellen. But keep watching so you don't miss any of this craziness. Number 8, Mark Ruffalo.
Here's the thing. I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have.
This one's kind of the odd one. Most people consider Mark Ruffalo to be among the kindest celebrity out there. So what kind of beef could he possibly have with Ellen? And if he does, what does that say about her? She must have done something awful. Let's break it down. Years back, Ellen caught a lot of fire for attending a Dallas Cowboys game with then-President George W. Bush. She was spotted, and the internet blew up about it. At the time, Ellen came out to her audience in a monologue and explained that even though she and Bush have differences, she chooses kindness and remains friends with him. Mark Ruffalo at the time came out on Twitter to express his own response to her monologue. He posted, "Sorry, until George W. Bush is brought to justice for the crimes of the Iraq War, we can't even begin to talk about kindness." The blast was pretty big and quite interesting considering the context of today. Number 7. Kelly Ripa.
Okay, here I go.
She has been a long-time daytime and morning talk show host herself, and you would think she would get along with Ellen. Unfortunately, their relationship is anything but cordial. You're not going to want to miss this. Here's what happened. Kelly's co-host, Michael Strahan, was a longtime partner, and they grew pretty close. But when Michael decided to go to ABC's Good Morning America, their relationship quickly fell apart. While most celebs tried to show support by remaining neutral, Ellen decided that she'd have Michael on her own show. This hurt Kelly Ripa pretty bad. Kelly felt that Ellen's move to get closer to her old co-star was pretty cruel and showed how little she cared about Michael suddenly leaving the show. That being said, many fans are divided on Ellen's decision. Some feel that it was completely unintentional and that she was just doing her job. The others think that Ellen probably did it on purpose. These days, more people seem to be in the latter camp. One thing is for sure, Kelly definitely isn't singing Ellen's high praises anymore. Number 6. Kathy Griffin.
Oh, this is good.
Longtime comedian Kathy Griffin and Ellen would seem like they might match up perfectly. They're both comics and are both great entertainers. But as fate would have it, she doesn't get along with Ellen either. Kathy and Ellen have had a long-standing feud, which has divided many fans. There's essentially two sides to the story. It all started years ago when Kathy published her book on all the celebs she's made and her experiences with them. It was a pretty bold move and definitely stirred the pot in the celeb community quite a bit. Ellen was just one celeb amongst about 100 others who had dirt shed on them by Kathy. Kathy claimed that Ellen had her kicked out of a dressing room at the Daytime Emmys one year and went on to reveal that just about everyone in Hollywood who's interacted with her sees her to be pretty mean. Ellen has denied the accusation time and again. Rumors were circulating that Ellen had banned Kathy from her show, but Ellen was quick to point out that you can only get banned if you've ever been on the show in the first place. Number 5. Caitlyn Jenner.
I don't ever want to stand in front of anybody's happiness.
The star went on to the show and made quite a shocking reveal. Caitlyn was asked about her feelings on same-sex marriage. Ellen and fans alike were shocked to hear that at one point she did not support it. Ellen was quick to fire back and tried to spin it to seem like she wasn't in support of the LGBTQ community. But their feud didn't end there. In fact, Ellen decided to continue on with her feud and brought it onto the Howard Stern show. She told the radio TV show host that Caitlyn Jenner was unfairly passing judgment on gay people and marriage. It turns out that wasn't quite the case, and Caitlyn came out to respond in a pretty big way. The reality TV star had actually talked to Ellen just prior to taping the show and convinced her to talk about her shifting stance on marriage equality. Ellen then flipped the switch on her during the interview and made it sound like she was against it. Number 4. Joan Rivers.
Don't ask her to spell mom backwards if she's had a drink.
While Joan Rivers has since passed away, Kathy Griffin lives on and tells one particularly rough moment between Rivers and Ellen. This isn't something you're going to want to miss. Joan explained to Kathy at their last dinner together that Ellen had always shunned her and told her she was vulgar and not funny. This was a rough note to leave on, and Kathy is definitely spreading the message. Despite even that, Kathy still reached out to Ellen to ask if she'd participate in the memorial for Joan after she died. She then claimed, though, that Ellen did not want to do it and took a step back. Kathy said that she wished Ellen would talk about Joan more, as she is considered one of the women to break the glass ceiling and get women into the talk show host space. Number 3. Nikki Tutorials.
When I was younger, I was born in the wrong body.
The big-time YouTuber went on to The Ellen Show earlier this year and was pretty open afterwards about the experience. She says the entire thing was horrible. Nikki was selected as a transgender person with a massively successful platform. She even revealed beforehand that she was excited to go on because she was a huge Ellen fan. Nikki then explained that Ellen didn't even come say hi to her before going on stage, and the entire experience just felt extremely cold and distant. She then explained how she didn't even have a place to go to the bathroom, and the closest one was reserved for the Jonas Brothers. Number 2. Susan Sarandon.
It felt perfectly fine.
Okay.
It didn't feel strange at all.
Susan Sarandon was another celebrity to speak out about Ellen's friendship with George Bush. Sarandon pointed out, through a quote from one publication, that Ellen had missed the point entirely in her attempted explanation. She went on to say that Ellen chalked it up to hanging out with someone who had different opinions rather than someone who was a war criminal. Number 1. Kevin T. Porter.
But it's so funny to have someone that's like charismatic and interesting and funny.
Things have definitely reached an all-new low when a comedian offers donations online in exchange for mean Ellen stories. This is what has happened most recently and seems to confirm the worst. At this point, Ellen has reached an all-new low and it's being revealed to the world. Kevin posted that he would donate $2 to the Los Angeles Food Bank for every story about Ellen being rude. He wanted to reveal how mean she was to the world, and it seemed to work. The comedian quickly received over 2,000 replies of mean stories. It turned out to be a hefty sum, but was even more shocking for fans who were able to read up on how mean Ellen was. But that's all for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date on all the new videos. And leave a comment below on the meanest things you think Ellen's ever done. That's all. Have a good one.
Just a reminder about our new giveaway. We're giving away the new iPad Pro or the new iMac Pro. The choice is yours. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple.